Breaking news. The epic Fury plan has just been unveiled in the CNN newsroom. The newsroom glows blue from dozens of screens while phones ring off the hook. Red banners flash across the main monitor. Breaking: United States and Philippines launch epic Fury. Missiles move closer to Taiwan. Producers huddle, and the anchor's voice trembles with urgency as the epic Fury war plan explodes into public view. Tension crackles in the air. All eyes lock onto live feeds from Manila and Washington. Graphics map out new missile arcs aimed at China. On the ticker, world capitals react, some with fear, others with quiet approval. The United States military's hidden hand is now unmistakably on the chessboard. Asia suddenly feels very close. A field reporter's voice cuts through. This is the most dramatic move in the Pacific since the Cold War. The global stakes, she warns, just jumped. No one in the newsroom doubts her. The room quiets as a Pentagon briefing begins. The world is about to change. The anchor leans forward and asks, what does this mean for peace in Asia? Is war more likely now? The questions hang heavy, even as the breaking news rolls on. Every viewer senses history unfolding live and unfiltered. Dawn in Manila brings military convoys winding through city streets. Soldiers check checkpoints as helicopters buzz overhead. At the port, United States Marines unload crates stamped top secret. Filipino troops, faces tense, coordinate with American officers. The city pulses with unspoken anxiety. Just offshore, United States Navy ships glide silently into position. Their radar domes gleam in the sunrise. Sailors stand at attention as missiles are prepped for rapid launch. The USS Ronald Reagan leads the task force, her decks bristling with fighter jets. Every movement is watched from Beijing to Tokyo. In the heart of Manila, local residents peer from windows. They remember the last time war felt this close. Schools close early. Markets empty. The mayor urges calm, but the roads out of town grow crowded. The city knows it sits on the edge of a global fault line. Satellite feeds loop in United States command centers. Drones sweep skies above Luzon and the South China Sea. Across both militaries, code red means all leave is canceled. Epic Fury is no drill. It's a message, loud, clear, and unmistakable. As Asia braces, the Middle East simmers. News breaks. Iran's supreme leader has died in a sudden mysterious attack. Crowds surge in Tehran. Militias fire rockets in Iraq and Syria. Oil prices soar. The world wonders, who made the first move? United States intelligence sources hint at chaos. Iranian generals scramble to regroup, fearing internal coups. The Pentagon raises alert levels worldwide. For American allies, the message is clear. Instability is spreading, and United States power must be ready everywhere. Israel mobilizes reserves. Russia issues warnings from Moscow. In Manila, officers track headlines from the Middle East, knowing a new front could erupt at any moment. The United States cannot afford to blink. Not in Asia, not in the Gulf. The link is unmistakable. As one crisis flares, another grows. This is a world on edge. Every move in Manila, every rocket in Tehran, is watched by leaders in Beijing, Moscow, and Pyongyang. The age of local conflict is over. Now, every fire threatens to ignite the globe. Within hours of Iran's chaos, United States planes fill Pacific airspace. Fighter jets roar from Okinawa, Guam, and the newly expanded bases in the Philippines. Submarines surface off Luzon, their silhouettes a silent warning. The United States responds with speed that stuns allies and rivals alike. Russian analysts scramble to interpret the message. Is this deterrence or the opening moves of a new era? In North Korea, Kim Jong-un calls an emergency meeting with his generals. Pyongyang's missile units go on alert. Every United States move is mirrored by rival powers, raising the risk of mistake. Chinese state media broadcasts images of United States convoys rolling through Manila. Commentators accuse Washington of militarizing Asia. But United States spokespeople insist these moves are about peace through strength, a show of force meant to prevent war, not start it. The world watches. In capitals from Berlin to Seoul, diplomats debate. Is the United States drawing new lines that others dare not cross? The answer, in the silence between missile tests and troop movements, is yes. America's allies breathe easier. But in Beijing, the mood darkens. The codename Epic Fury leaks into headlines. Pentagon planners describe it as a revolution in warfare. The plan is built on speed, rapid deployments, instant coordination between allies, and advanced technology designed to outpace any enemy. Under Epic Fury, US and Filipino units can snap deploy anywhere in the archipelago. Hypersonic missiles, unmanned drones, and cyber warfare teams stand ready at a moment's notice. The plan is about surprise, hitting hard and fast if deterrence fails. Allies are crucial. Japan, Australia, and even India sign on for joint drills. New communication satellites link command centers from Honolulu to Manila. The message to China: the US network is deep, fast, and nearly impossible to break. The plan is also about defense. Epic Fury is designed to keep any fight away from major cities and protect civilians, but it also means the Philippines, once a backwater in military strategy, is now the Pacific's front door. Every Filipino village, every American base is a piece on a dangerous chessboard. The tension spikes with new missile deployments. American HIMARS rocket launchers roll into Philippine bases just 200 miles from Taiwan's southern tip. Filipino Marines guard the perimeter as Patriot batteries rise skyward. Warships equipped with Tomahawk missiles prowl the Bashi Channel. On the ground, US and Filipino soldiers work side by side, camouflaged under jungle netting. They drill rapid launches, then melt back into forests. Locals watch nervously. These are not practice runs. The stakes are high, and the clock is ticking. Every missile points north. Chinese jets buzz the Taiwan Strait in response, their flights tracked by American radar. Each day, the air grows thicker with suspicion. "We are ready for any scenario," a US colonel says, eyes fixed on a digital map of Taiwan. In Washington, defense officials brief Congress. They say the new deployments are measured, defensive, and necessary. But in Beijing, the message reads differently. America and the Philippines are now within striking distance of China's most sensitive target, Taiwan. China responds with fury. Satellite images reveal new Chinese missile fields in Fujian and Guangdong. Warships are massing in the East China Sea. The People's Liberation Army, or PLA, conducts night drills, rehearsing an assault on Taiwan. Media warn of grave consequences if the United States interferes. President Xi Jinping addresses the nation saying, "China will never allow foreign forces to separate us from Taiwan." His words echo through Asia's capitals. For Beijing, 2027 is the year Taiwan must finally return to the fold. By peace if possible, by force if necessary. Chinese hackers target Philippine and US command centers. Rumors swirl of cyber attacks on Manila's hospitals and banks. The threat is clear. China can strike back in ways far beyond the battlefield. Inside think tanks from London to Canberra, experts debate. Will China risk everything to seize Taiwan? Or is this just more saber-rattling? One thing is certain: China's military buildup is real, and the clock to 2027 is ticking loud enough for the whole world to hear. Why the Philippines? Well, geography is destiny. The archipelago sits at the crossroads of Asia's most vital sea lanes. Whoever controls the Philippines can choke off China's navy, or open the door to Taiwan. For the United States, the answer is clear. The islands are the keystone of Pacific defense. American engineers are racing to expand runways in Palawan and Cagayan. Radar domes are sprouting on mountain peaks. Deep water ports are being dredged to handle US warships. The Philippine government, once wary, now welcomes the buildup. "Better to have friends close than enemies closer," one official shrugs. For ordinary Filipinos, the changes are profound. Some worry about becoming a target. Others see new jobs and hope. In fishing villages, US sailors buy fresh tuna and swap stories with locals. The alliance is no longer abstract, it's part of daily life. Yet the risk is real. With every new base, every missile battery, the Philippines becomes more than a partner. It becomes the front line. Its fate, once its own, is now tied to the world's most dangerous standoff. Joint training fills the calendar. US and Filipino troops storm beaches, repel hypothetical invaders, and master jungle warfare. New missile systems, from Patriots to hypersonics, anchor the defense. Under the Mutual Defense Treaty, an attack on one is an attack on both. In war rooms, generals plan every possible scenario. Can the islands hold out until reinforcements arrive? Will China risk an all-out assault? The answer, US officials hope, is no. The goal is not to win a war, but to make a war impossible to start. Alliances grow stronger. Japan pledges support. Australia sends ships. Even South Korea boosts its presence in the Pacific. Together, they form a web meant to deter aggression with strength. But some warn: the tighter the web, the more likely something snaps. For now, the buildup continues. More missiles, more drills, more warnings. In the background, diplomats still talk, hoping words can do what weapons cannot. The world holds its breath, wondering if this new balance will hold or tip into chaos. Asia is now the world's most dangerous hotspot. The United States and the Philippines say the Epic Fury strategy is about peace. By making war too costly for China, they hope to hold the line. But each new missile, each exercise, raises the risk of a spark no one can control. For Beijing, Washington, and Manila, the stakes are higher than ever. Allies watch nervously. Rivals probe for weakness. The world's eyes are fixed on the Pacific, where the future of peace, or war, will be decided. The hope, US officials repeat, is that strength brings stability. But the truth is more complex. Asia's gamble is that power can keep the peace. Only time will tell if the epic fury strategy works, or if it's the match that lights the fire. As the news cycle churns and the world holds its breath, one truth remains. The US-Philippines alliance is now at the heart of a new global order. Asia is the center, and the clock is ticking louder than ever.